happy GAQA Tuesday. I'm so excited to be bringing you another episode of GAQA Tuesday where I answer all of your Ghost Adventures related questions that you asked me all up on the Facebook page. I am feeling better. I don't have much of a voice, but I'm getting there. It's kind of coming and going, so if I squeak and rasp, I'm sorry in advance. But my migraine is gone. I'm feeling much better than I was yesterday, aside from being a little tired, but other than that, I'm good. It's still cold and rainy. Well, it's not really cold today, but it's still rainy and nasty, and therefore my allergies are just as mad at me as they are yesterday, but thank God for good medication. I'm making it. But we're not here to talk about my health status or the weather outside. We're here to talk about GAQA Tuesday, and we have a good little list of questions for you guys today. So I'm going to get started so that I can preach and rant and do all of the things that seems to happen during GAQA Tuesday. Our first question is from Michael Guess, and it is, will you ever revisit Bobby Mackey's? The answer is no. The guys will never revisit Bobby Mackey's. Aaron and Zach have both stated that they have no business there, they have no reason to go back, and they have no desire to go back. That place was not kind to any of them. Zach had to have a mini exorcism performed on him there. Aaron believes that place played a part in ending his marriage. It's such an evil place, and there is something very sinister there, and something that likes to follow you home, and they've made it very clear that they will never go back to Bobby Mackey's, and I think that's a wise decision. Now, I cannot speak for Nick, because we all know that wackadoodle went and did like this tour thingy. Basically it was a pay me money to meet me thing, but he happened to throw Bobby Mackey's in there, which of course attracted people because it's Bobby Mackey's, and everybody's like, ooh, is it really that bad? We all know my opinion about it. There's a video. You can see my rant on that whole mess. I think it was personally the stupidest thing on the planet. You're going to charge people $300 to see your stupid face and put them in danger at that, because that location is not prejudice. It's not going to be like, oh, I'm not going to mess with you because you're not a paranormal investigator. I'm going to probably mess with you twice as hard because you're not a paranormal investigator. So before I get all sassified and ranty, I'm just going to stop it there, because we know how I feels about that. I think it was freaking stupid, but whatever. Moving on. So no, I know that Zach and Aaron have no desire to go back to Bobby Mackey's. I know that Billy and Jay have been there as well, and they have no desire. It's kind of like the business has been done, and there's nothing good about that place. And so no, they're not going back. But thank you for your question. Our next question is from Lowry Fresh something or another. Nailed it, failed it. You can let me know. His question was, what happened to Nick? We don't know everything, because of course they did the business thing, and well, we've decided, that I'm going to leave Ghost Adventures. From what we've gathered over time, Zach and Nick had a falling out of some sort, whether it was personal or business related or a little bit of both. We really don't know. I think that Nick wanted a lot more attention than what he was getting. Zach has kind of always been the face of the GAC. For whatever reason, Zach has always been the lead investigator. Zach has always been this. Zach has always been that. And so Nick, I think, kind of felt that it was more of a partnership and not maybe like a dictatorship. And maybe the Travel Channel didn't really feel that way. Aside from the fact that Nick's got 2 small kids and a wife and other dreams and pursuits he wants to do, I think it boiled down to that there was some sort of a personal falling out, and they just made the decision to go separate ways. I think Nick is a very money-hungry person. I think he seeks attention, and he seeks it in unhealthy ways, like these little paranormal tours that he's going to, that he's charging people $1 zillion to go do and be a part of. And it's really just to see his face, to say, I met Nick Groff, who happens to be a celebrity, who happens to be on one of, or used to be on one of the highest rated paranormal television shows on TV. And you know, for example, I mean, I could chuck the $300 and go 15 minutes down the road when he does the Missouri State Pin Tour, or I could go by myself for 90 and get the same experience. I have no desire to meet the man. I have a desire to slap him, but I have no desire to meet him. I think that he is selfish and self-centered, and not knocking you Nick fans out there. I know there are people out there who worship the ground that Nick Groff walks on. To each their own. This is my opinion. I think that he is a very selfish person, and I think that he was a part of something really great, and he let fame get to his head, and I think he's a fame hog, and when things didn't go his way, then it didn't work for him anymore. I think they wanted to make Billy and Jay a more integral part of the GAC and give them more opportunity and more responsibility on the show as investigators, not just audio-visual techs and you know, nerve center crew. I think they wanted to give them a chance to have their hand in investigating as well, and I don't think that settled with Nick very well. I think that he wanted it to be him and Zach and Aaron forever, and as time evolves and things change, then people need to change too, and he just didn't handle it very well. And so, again, in my opinion, if I don't try to harness my true feelings about him, then I just spew sassiness everywhere, and I don't have the energy today. So, you know, there's not going to be a Zach and Nick reunion anytime soon, I don't think. But I think that it's just a classic example of fame changes people and money changes people. And I think the more money he got, the more powerful he thought he was, and the more he expected from people who gave him an opportunity. You know, Discovery Communications as a whole has given Zach and Nick and Aaron, you know, more than they probably ever imagined or dreamed when they did their little documentary in 2004, you know, going from the Sci-Fi Network to the Travel Channel and being on such a wide scale and being the, you know, the peak of the Travel Channel Saturday nights, either with Aftershocks or their regular seasons of Ghost Adventures. And when you're given an opportunity like that, you need to take it, and you need to be grateful for what you have. And I think that over time he just got demanding, and he wanted more than what they were willing to give him, and so he walked. And not to mention, you know, I think there was a lot of animosity between him and Zach as well, and things just over time, and that's sad because I think at one point they were really, really good friends, and they really cared for each other. And I think Nick's desire to be bigger and better than Zach really got to them, and that's kind of sad. So no, there's not going to be any happy family reunions anytime soon, I don't think. But thank you for your question. Our next question is from Rizak Ali, and his question is, do you think Zach and Aaron get along well off camera? Yes. Yes. He has stated many times that Aaron's one of his best friends in the entire world. He's like a brother. That's what I love about the current GAC crew, the Ghost Adventures crew. They are so tight-knit, and you can see it. Nobody fakes it. You could feel the tension, or at least I could, and maybe that's just an empath thing, but I could always feel the tension between Nick and Aaron and Zach. And when you see Billy and Jay and Zach and Aaron work together, it's tension-free. They get the job done. They know how to handle each other. They know how to handle each other's quirks. They respect each other's space. And that reflects on and off camera. You know, when they're doing interviews and they're not in lockdown mode and they're just, you know, doing interviews, or they give us little snippets of things that are happening and funny things that are happening and behind the scenes stuff, you can really see them interact with each other. I mean, like I said, they're so big on Twitter and Vine and Instagram and Facebook and all avenues of social media that you can really see their chemistry as friends and as family. He had nothing, you know, in his new book, I Am Haunted, Zach had nothing but wonderful, amazing things to say about Aaron and Billy and Jay, and Ashley, Jay's wife, and just how they are just this one big happy family. They know how to respect each other's space, they know how to work well together, and they know how to be friends and family off of camera. And I think that's really important, because you can't only fake it for so long. Trust. You can only fake your happiness for so long, and it gets to a point where you can't do it anymore. Physically, emotionally, you just can't. You're exhausted, and then everything around you just kind of falls apart. And so I think it's very important to have the people in your life that you love and care for the most, because they're the ones that are going to build you up, and you have to feel the same way, or it's just going to be a disaster. So, yeah, I think that it's pretty obvious that they're really, really close friends and they're really, really tightly bonded, and that's wonderful to see, because in this line of work, trust me, you need people that you can trust, because it's dangerous and it's scary and you are vulnerable and you can have moments of weakness, and you need family and friends in those situations that you truly can rely on and trust. So yeah, they do. They're a very tight family. Kind of like us here. We're just one big, happy, dysfunctional, wackadoodle family, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Our last question is from Michelle Frederick, and this is just a Zach and Nick episode. Let me tell you. I was happy to see Zach talk about Nick last night, talking about aftershocks. I wonder if they still talk, or both Zach and Aaron talk to Nick. And like I said, I highly doubt that they talk. I could be wrong. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm not, like fangirling Zach and like stalking him every 5 minutes and going, well, he just left the gym and now he's going to Chipotle and now he's doing this and now he's doing that. So I have no idea. Chances are I highly doubt it. I think that the falling out was pretty nasty. He's obviously going to refer to him in some of these past episodes on Aftershocks because he was a part of them. But I really don't think that they talk anymore, because I think that the falling out has been so bad that the friendship has been severed, the ties have been cut, everything's been cut, and so it's just time to ship out and move on. And you don't see him include them in anything. I mean, there's obviously no family reunions going on if they're in the area. Nick moved his family back to Boston, and he has his own gym and his own, I don't know what he's trying to do, like American Ninja Warrior. I don't know what he's doing up there. He looks like a serial killer. If you've seen any pictures of him lately, he's got like the East Coast, like Massachusetts beard thing going on, and he looks like a serial killer. I'm just saying. So I highly doubt that there's any sort of communication going on. And like I said before in the other question, I think it's just sad that he let fame and whatever else get to his head, and he's really become somebody who I don't even recognize. He's not the Nick that I enjoyed watching on Ghost Adventures for so long. That's really obvious. And it was pretty obvious last season, too, that things were changing and the dynamic was shifting, and Zach was getting really, really frustrated. And at the end of the day, Zach carries the show. I mean, but now I've noticed that it's become a crew thing. It's not so much Zach carries the show anymore. I don't really feel like Zach does it. I think that Zach and Aaron and Billy and Jay carry the show. And so I don't think they talk anymore. It's sad, but it's reality. But that's all I have for GAQA Tuesday. I had a short list, and that's just fine with me, because like I said, I am still exhausted, but I am getting there. Mother Nature is kicking my tailbone. But I will be back tomorrow for What Should I Do Wednesday, where I answer all of your general paranormal related questions. So get those into me today and tomorrow before tomorrow's video, and I will gladly answer them for you. And I will also be back on Friday for GA Flashback Friday, where I recap one of our past episodes of Ghost Adventures, and we are starting in on Season 2, Episode 1, and I am so excited to do so. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy, stay warm or cold, depending on where you are in the country. I am hunkering down for some severe weather for the next couple of days. They mentioned tornadoes. I don't do tornadoes, but tornadoes do Missouri. So I may just have to suck it up, Buttercup. But I don't know. I live in a hole, kind of, so we really don't get a lot of tornadoes. We kind of get as much of a tease as possible, but it doesn't really happen here. They either go north or they go south, but they never seem to directly hit us. And if they do, then you know it was a bad day at the office. But I'm going to hunker down and try to avoid being blown away. And I will see you guys tomorrow for What Should I Do Wednesday. Much love, much happiness.